Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there?
Passamos 2 semanas preso lá, né? Então,
The origin of the Dream Scourge? It was the act of a god this whole time?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened? Finally, a ray of sunlight shines through the storm cloud.
I will not grovel at the envoy's feet for solving a plague I am not convinced was real.
If you wardens ever bothered to pull your heads out of your asses, you wouldn't take such pride in your ignorance.
oh, logo.
You know nothing of me or my people, you fucking pirate!
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the Dream Scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, Envoy?
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen.
Yes, you said that. Are we supposed to just take you at your word?
It was Ludwine who called for the attack. She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking, just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwig's
tá
plowed
viva
through the
ainda.
militia like a knife through warm butter.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Might not be the last either, depending on how things go. So long as her passion for Wodica lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That would be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible.
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradis is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
The lawful settlement of a new Adirian colony, supposedly. Or the establishment of a Wodican state. She could win with a godlike in her ranks. Your presence would serve as a powerful endorsement. Somewhere inside that hollow head of hers, I believe she always hoped she'd turn you to her side. Remember, she has an obligation to Wodica, a solemn oath. And neither the Steel Garrote nor the queen that was look kindly upon oathbreakers.
We brought as many hail and able from Thirdborn as would come. But after the Dream Scourge and our losses from Nakukubel, we could spare so few. I worry it won't be enough.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. The keep was saved, but there is much to repair, particularly if we are to endure a siege. Most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the Steel Garrote for the sake of Paradis, not when we are so few.
Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adia's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid.
Subtle, pernicious, cut the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. A web gleaming with dew. They weave, they wait.
Tribute, he says. Taxes, soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
No.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. Can you wield a promise, Envoy? Can you drink it like clean water? Can you see it when you open both eyes wide?
A grave room could work, so long as trade keeps moving through the Scarp and you're willing to serve as our go-between, Envoy. And we'll have cannons enough to deter the adherents from trying anything stupid.
When the Empire demands its tribute, from where will it come? Emerald Stair is not the breadbasket it was, and the dream of yore is now deferred. If we accept this deal, I fear we are building a trap certain to catch our own legs.
Of course. You can't be serious. You'd stand with the Steel Garrote?
No. Don't tell me you're bending the knee to the ones who burned my city.
Don't do this. I followed you to the ends of this world. We all did. But I won't follow you here.
No. If you do this, you better say goodbye, Envoy. I won't help you sell out my home to that Korba.
I thought you were smarter than this, Envoy.
The Wardens would sooner die than kneel before the Steel Garrote.
The Living Lands will not suffer a zealot's rule, and Thirdborn has cannons enough to prove it.
How many lives are you willing to forfeit for this benighted path to power?
No one will stand with you if you do this thing. What in Remagon's eight blasted hells are you thinking? Trust is a fragile thing, Envoy. You will only get to make this choice once. Choose wisely. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. They're ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake. Of course. Well, don't leave. Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her wardens stand vigil with the living lands.
By grit and steel, Thirdborn stands with the living lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the living lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
The living lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Show them that the living lands will not be broken across Vodka's knee.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the living lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the living lands takes care of its own.
Let's go free a city, shall we?
You asked for it! Nicely done!
I was worried for a second.
Ô, louco, esse combo.
Protect the envoy! Couldn't have done it better. On your right. I'll fix it. Well done.
Away with you!
Well, that was fun.
Let's
Stop right there.
Never had a chance.
Don't worry about the eastern gate. I'll protect your back. Everyone okay?
Right there. Get there. They're coming.
Look out!
Oh, 10!
Nicely done.
Oh, 10! What's that wrong?
We've got company.
What's that wrong?
I let you have that one.
What's that wrong? What's that wrong?
Cara, a cidade está toda detonada, velho.
Envoy over here. What exactly do you think you're doing? You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the steel garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess. I hope you're right, Envoy. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Wait a second. Jada? Jada Castell? What are you doing in the middle of this?
Surviving. It's good to see you, Liviana. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. Do you need anything? Money, supplies?
Once this is over, I could always use another pair of hands at the clinic. The invitation's still open.
Thank you, but I've decided to tough it out as an animancer. On my own terms. Can you manage without me?
Are you kidding? I'm happy for you. Besides, I've got Chico on bandage duty. I just wanted you to know there's a place here whenever you want it. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
That's why I adore Liviana. For a peacemonger, she can be very authoritative.
Nossa, olha o tamanho daquele bicho ali. Oxi.
It's easy when you do it.
Worth that rough!
Come on! Come on!
Just go. I've got the plaza.
Worth that rough!
Yahtzee, well done.
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her.
Ixi, mas já tá ali já.
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we? Let's make sure she stays dead this time, all right, dearie?
There you are. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Judgment has been passed. Now comes the sentence. Steel yourself, envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
All this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down. Farewell, envoy.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
You won't be missed, Ludwig.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of...
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Come on!
Oxi.
Queen among queens! Send me your aid!
Even Wodika is done with you, Ludwig.
Worth it.
Give me a second.
Caramba.
Don't think so, dear.
Fala sério, hein?
One last time. Ethic worth it wrong. Grow up and
aí deu ruim, aí deu ruim.
Ethic worth it wrong.
morreu. Caramba.
Wherever Ludwig is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. For the rebels of Paradis, this is not a victory they can share. Fearing your wrath, they retreat deeper into the wilderness, taking their secrets and ideals with them. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. The ashes of Fior Messiverno continue to smolder. Scavengers avoid the ruins, fearful of spirits unleashed by animancy gone awry. The once promising city is nothing but a cautionary tale. For the people of Shatterscarp, independence is bittersweet. Those who cannot withstand the grief inflicted by Ringgrim's spell leave the settlements, vanishing into the wilderness. Those who remain find themselves forced to cooperate with others, often begrudgingly. With so many dead, the need to stave off hunger outweighs any distaste for certain trading partners. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first. But after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the Living Lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. As the din of battle fades and the dust settles in Paradis, Kai finds himself alone again. He longs to enjoy the camaraderie that follows a skirmish, but something is missing. The songs ring hollow in his chest, and the drink lands dry in his throat. He packs what little he has and makes for the coast. He doesn't know where he will go, only that his time in the Living Lands is through. There was a lifeline here, but he never quite grasped it. He will drift. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradis and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the living lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Mes Iverno lives on in her. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Mes Iverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sopadal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sopadal has questions about what happens tomorrow, and the day after. You do your best to keep them calm, until the voice in your head is little more than a polite whisper. After everything you've been through, you don't mind the company. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
É isso aí. Eu achei essa missão final aqui muito rápida. Você, tipo, atravessa a cidade destruída, mata alguns inimigos, aí já chega no boss final. A luta com o boss final foi até que rápida. Não sei. Achei meio rushado essa última missão aqui. Mas de resto, eu acho que o jogo valeu a pena até. O jogo tá pesadinho. No geral rodou a tipo 50 FPS. 50, 60 FPS. Dando umas quedinhas. O jogo tá bem pesado, mesmo com o DLSS. Mas é isso. Jogo caro, então se forem jogar, joga pelo Game Pass, que só vai sair bem mais barato. Se você gosta de jogo, né, nesse estilo de RPG e tal, de jogo Elder Scrolls Skyrim, essas coisas, mano, esse jogo é um prato cheio, então vale a pena dar uma chance pro jogo. No geral é isso, recomendo o jogo, um jogo bom.